Hello, just wanted to make a quick video about a music video that I created and kind of show you the process of how to make one through ComfyStudio. So what you're looking at here is the project selection page. So let me open up my music video project. We'll wait for all this stuff to load up. All right, so if you've ever worked with any editor like a Premiere or Resolve or Final Cut, whatever, this is going to look quite familiar. Your left side here, you have your assets, you have your text tool, you have transitions and effects. These effects I'm quite excited about, but I'll make a different video about that. Here's all your settings. If you go to workflow setup here, in this section here is where you can download all the workflows, and you can choose which ones you want to download and which ones you do not. If you download any of these will give you the ability to run generations in ComfyStudio. All right, again, this is a very high level overview. All right, well, I know the timeline looks kind of complicated, but I wouldn't worry about that right now. Let's just go through how I created the music video. So first I had to pick my lead singer. So I created a character sheet. So that's this. The way I created this was I went to generate, down to text to image for Z Image Turbo. I click on that. I prompted, you pick your size and then hit Q image. Once that's done, it'll show up here in your asset panel. But the next step, what I did was I went down to here, multiple angle characters. I think this uses Quen image edit. So once you go here, you pick your character from the left side. So this is basically your asset panel. So if you go in here, let's see if I can find it. Z Image Turbo, oh, so here it is. So this is the image that was created. So that suddenly pops in here. So once you hit Q image here on the right side, it'll pop up when it's done. And then it'll ask you if you want to create a character sheet. Because what this is going to do is going to create multiple files, but you want the multiple files to put into one character sheet. So it'll show up here saying, do you want to create the character sheet? You click on that and it'll create this, what we were looking at. I was also thinking about using a woman for this, but I didn't do that. So I created this. And this is what I'm using to drive the character consistency for the music video. So the way I do that is you go back to generate and go up here where it says create beta. Here you have three choices. You can do an ad, music video, or a short film. So obviously now we're just talking about a music video. So if you come in here, let me start from the beginning. So when you go here, you have these 5 steps you need to go through. Again, I tried to make this as easy as possible, not only for you guys, but for myself too. So when I'm making a music video, I don't want to be boggled down by like trying to figure out nodes. All right, so let's go through this. So first you're going to pick the aspect ratio. So you have 16:9, 9:16, and 1:1. And then you have your resolution, 720p, 1080p. And then you have your frames per second. So down here at the bottom is where you pick your song. I made my song through Suno. So through Suno, you can export stems. So I just selected my vocal stem. The way this pops up here is when you import your audio to the asset panel, it'll pop up here. So you can see there's the instrumental of the song and there's the lead vocals, so if you want the lead vocals. You could load a full song here and it should be fine. If there's a lot of effects on the vocals and stuff, the next process might have difficulty making the SRT for you. So once you select it, you come here and you hit prepare timing. So what that does basically, it'll listen to your song and it'll create an SRT for you, which is this stuff here on the bottom. So this is the SRT for the song and for the audio that I picked here. So this is what comes out. So then you go to the next step. You come up, you go people. So basically here you pick the cast of your music video, right? I only wanted the lead singer, so I named him James. Make sure you always use the script slug, it's very important. This is what tells the workflow, hey, I need you to use my reference image of the lead singer. So here, which is reference, you want to select your character sheet. So I named mine male lead, and that's what that is. So this is the reference. Every time James pops up in the script, the workflow knows that it needs to use the reference male lead, okay? And this here is just a label for the script. So that's it, and you can continue adding people. So say if you have like a full band and you wanna put drummers and everything else, you can do that. I didn't, I just used one. So next page. So here's the script section. This is quite simple. but I'll go through it really quick. What this does here, it creates multiple performance passes. So if you keep it at 0, it would just do one pass. So you basically have like just one string of the music video. And that might be enough for most of you guys. But for me, my background is I was an editor for a long time, and now I'm a visual effects artist. And whenever I do work on actual music videos, when we get footage, it's hours and hours of it. And, having all those options is great. So I always try to get as much as performance as I can for this. So I like doing all these. So if I hit 3, that means you're going to get one main performance and you're going to get 3 additional performances. Okay. So you can also select B-roll, and what that does is just gives you a bunch of B-roll with the same environment from before. So you can have James walking around, he's not singing, he's maybe interacting with other people, he's doing various things. You have environmental. So this will only create environmental stuff, which is great because if you have like something that's shot in the city, it'll show the streets, it'll show cars, it'll show the skyscrapers, all that stuff. And then detail inserts would be like hands playing the guitar, details of the ground, inside stores, just detail inserts. So once you select what you want here, so all you need to do is hit copy brief. So it'll give you a template that you give your LLM. Then the LLM will give you back the specific script format that you need for this. So yes, so it's up to you. I understand some of you guys are probably like, well, I want to write my own script. And you can do that, right? You can do that. It's up to you, right? This script will be based on the lyrics of the song. So if you want to just be lazy, kind of like I was, you can just do that. But you can also just tell the LLM, hey, I want this sort of like story with my music video, and here's the script. And then, just work with it until you have something that you like, and then you paste it back in here, okay? All right, so let's move on. So keyframes, obviously I already ran a music video, so that you're already seeing a bunch of keyframes here, right? And these keyframes are for every single shot. So you can see I think I have like 120 something shots here because I ran like the maximum amount of shots, which gives you so much flexibility when it's time to edit. It's great. Let me see how many shots this is. I forgot. It is 121. No, it's more. 127. All right. So once you get in here, you're not going to see all these keyframes like me. You're just going to see empty boxes. So all you do is select either Quen Image Edit or Nano Banana 2, which I prefer Nano Banana 2. I'd rather spend the $2, and the images come out so much better, and it's quick. So once you're ready, you hit Create Keyframes. So all of these here on the bottom will change colors, and it'll go one by one and create the keyframes for you. And then once it's finished, if you're not happy with one of the keyframes, you can select, let's say, I don't know, say this one. You're like, I think this is boring. So you can select it. You can come to the bottom, and here you can change the keyframe prompt if you want, and then regenerate selected shot. You can do those for everything. And then every time you select one, you can see that it dynamically changes the prompt here to match whatever you have selected. So say now you're done here. And now you go to the next step, which is video. All right, so here's where the magic happens. So it's going to use all the keyframes you generated and create the music video for you. So all you need to do is click Generate Videos with LTX 2.3 Music. This is sort of like a custom workflow that I use. So once this is all finished, this is where I think the magic happens. So you're probably wondering, wow, this is going to be such a mess. You're going to have 127 shots in your asset panel, and then you have to go manually sync all the lip sync. I mean, if you're actually doing a real music video, then that's what you have to do. But here, you don't have to worry about that, because here where it says Assemble Timeline, I'm not going to click it now because it'll ruin my edit. But when you click here, what it does, if you go back to the editor, you can kind of see the passes here. On the left side, you see how it's main script sequence. So it'll grab the first pass and put it here. Then the performance pass, it'll put it here. And then the B-roll and the environmental B-roll pass. So it'll put it here all in order for you. As soon as you hit assemble, you can come back here and your music video is already assembled. You might have some empty areas, and this is why it's important to have all these extra B-roll passes and everything, because then you can move them there if you need. And then you can go ahead and start editing and start moving things around. Everything will be lip sync for you, which I think it's amazing. So that's basically it. This is how I made a music video. I'll have the link of the music video down below. One thing I should talk about is the adjustment layer pass. I use this as a pass to layer on effects. If you see here, there's grain on top. There's a bit of a chromatic aberration, because in between this off so you can see. So this here is the raw generation, and I think this looks too AI, I guess. It looks muddy. It looks weird to me, like it wasn't shot through a camera. So this is why I like to add all these effects to help push this into more realism. I like to make things look real with AI. The whole point was to make it look real for this music video. And I think adding these little elements like the vignettes and then the grain and everything else, I think it adds a lot. I've shown this to a few people, and yeah, not AI native people, but they thought this was real. All right, so this is ComfyStudio, and this is how I created my music video. I will do more videos and explain the short film creation one, and then also the ad one, and also go over more of the app itself. I'm very excited about these new effects. They're GLSL effects, so the GPU accelerated, so they run really well, and I think they look great. Okay, well, that's it. See you guys on the next one. Bye.